Hi guys, welcome back to Style with Substance and welcome to another video on the law of attraction, and today we're talking all about money, the green stuff, and how to attract more of it into your life using the law of attraction. So if you want to find out how I use the law of attraction to manifest more money and more of an income, then please keep watching. So I would say that this is probably going to be one of the more popular topics, maybe, because we all want more money. We all like to spend. Well, I'm pretty sure anyone subscribed here likes to spend, because I do a lot of hauls and you guys tend to love them. And you know, money does make the world go round. And there's always been videos and books and films and all sorts about how to master the art of getting more money, getting rich, and success is often associated with having a lot of money. And I think the law of attraction, and in particular the book The Secret, definitely covers money off as a big topic area in terms of how you can apply the law of attraction to getting more money. And I'm just going to talk through how I've done it in my life. So I've never really just wanted to attract random sums of money. That's kind of not how I've sort of worked it. I've always been of the mind frame that my money will come to me through my job initially. How I've always gone about it is I've used the law of attraction to manifest higher paying jobs. And I've done it in a number of different ways, but I think the ways that worked the most for me were going out there first of all and applying for those jobs. And the law of attraction doesn't work if you don't. So if you are not physically doing anything, if you're not taking an action, money isn't just going to fall into your lap. You have to actually do something. So for me, the doing bit and the asking bit was going and applying for jobs that had the salaries that I felt like, okay, this is ideal for me right now on the stage of life I'm at, and in terms of what I need to achieve this year. And before I kind of decide on what would be an ideal salary for me, I always go onto a site which is called Income Tax Calculator. So Google that if you're interested. And you put in any yearly salary and it breaks it down, takes out student loan repayments, tax, pension, anything else that you're sort of would be contributing to, and it calculates what your net wage would be after tax. So you know exactly what you're going to be earning after tax in a job, because I think what we think about is the big number at the end, your yearly salary. We don't take into account all the outgoings that come out first. So a lot of us are often surprised that people in really high paying jobs actually don't earn that much at the end of the month, because they're on a higher tax bracket and they get taxed about 30-40%, which is a lot. So I always go on Income Tax Calculator and figure out exactly how much money I'll be getting at the end of every month. And then I make myself a budget for that amount. So let's say the amount is £2,500 every month after tax. I create a budget. I put in all my outgoings, so things like mortgage payments, bills, council tax, car payments, home insurance, phone bill, travel. Take all those into account into the budget, and then I put down what is left. And what is left, split it in half. Half of it goes to savings, the other half is just for me to spend and play with. And if I like the amount that's left over for me to spend and play with, then that's generally a good salary for me. So I've always done that when I'm applying for jobs in a new salary bracket. And that's really got me into the gear, and it's really got me into the feeling of thinking, right, so this is my salary, this is my budget, I'm working with it. You kind of have to play make-believe quite a bit, and it's really exciting and really fun. So once I've done that, then obviously I start applying for jobs in that salary bracket, and I would say that this is the bit that requires the most work, because honestly, you're going to apply for a lot of jobs and you're not going to get all of them. It's a law of numbers, I think, when it comes to applying for a job. Funny enough, there's another law. I say for every 50 jobs you apply for, you probably get about one interview. And that's kind of the law of averages I've seen as far as my CV and my experience is concerned. It might be different for everyone else, but that's just what I've seen working for me. So once I get one interview, and I think that's the key switch over point. So you've asked now, you're putting it out there, you're doing the action, and then you get an interview. Whenever I start to see myself getting interviews, then I know that I'm very close to achieving that salary goal, as it were. Ask and then believe, and the belief really kicks in for me after that first interview. And generally I've never really done more than 2 interviews to like kind of have a job offer, because once I get to that stage I feel like I've filtered through all the companies that are not right for me and gotten to the ones that I really want and that fit the bill. And that's where the belief really kicks in. Once you go for the interview, you know, you have that conversation, that face-to-face interaction with someone, you really start to think about yourself in that company, working with the people you're working with, working on the projects you're working with, and building the skills that you want to build, and that paycheck coming in at the end of every month, and it all starts to become real. And there you go, you're in that mind frame. And then the receive, and the receive is obviously getting the job, doing a month's worth of work and getting your first month's salary. And that is the most satisfying feeling. And for me, that is where the attraction of more money started. But then things kind of took a bit of a change. I've always read a lot of personal development books, and they've always talked about having multiple streams of income. And at the time I was reading that, I had the one, which was my job, and I got quite scared for a bit, because I was like, what if something happens to me and I can't work? How am I going to make money? How am I going to sustain myself? And I didn't have a lot of savings at the time, and I didn't have a backup plan. And I said to myself, when I don't even remember what it was, but I think it was a book or a video on YouTube actually, probably one of Patricia Bright's actually. And, you know, she was kind of talking about having a plan B, because you might not always be able to work in your life. What are you going to do if you can't? And I was like, what would I do if I couldn't? Because I had no savings. I didn't have YouTube at the time. And then I was like, right, I need to change things. I need to change my life, and I need to stop relying on my job for all my money. So I started saving. And at that point, I was in the process of looking to buy a house, because I was like, okay, I want a really big investment that, you know, when I stop working can really serve its purpose and be a source of income for me. So I bought a house, and then during the process of buying a house, I started my YouTube channel, and my first video was how to buy a house, funny enough, because I was like, I'm going through it. I've never seen any extensive information on how to do this, and I really needed it when I first started, so let me do a video on that. That video went on to get like 40,000 views, over 45,000 views over, you know, the 2 years that it's been up, which is huge for a channel of my size. And back then I had about 500 subscribers. So the video was huge, and in turn the video in ad revenue made me a lot of money. And I was like, gosh, I don't have that many subscribers, but I have an income coming in from YouTube. And it wasn't a big income, but I was like, if I put out more videos, if I grow my subscriber base, this is going to be a regular thing. And at the time when I first started my channel, in the first 18 months, I was making pittance. So like, YouTube pays you whenever you hit the minimum threshold of £60. And if you make £60 a month, you get £60 a month. If you don't hit that threshold, you have to wait. So I was getting a payment like once every 3 or 4 months. And then when my channel sort of grew and spiraled, and, you know, my videos and content started to change and evolve and more people started watching, I then got to a point where I was making a monthly income. So I was making like £60 a month. And then in the last 3 months, I've gone from 60 to like £150 a month, which is mind-blowing. That me just sitting here in front of a camera and talking to you guys, and you guys liking and watching the videos, and some of you maybe clicking on the ads, is making me money. And that, along with my savings, along with my job, and along with my house as an investment, is already 4 streams of income. They say the ideal number is about 6 to 8. So I don't know where the other 2 are going to come from, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. But that is how I have manifested more money in my life. So I've asked for more money in terms of my job. I've believed I could achieve that, and, you know, have gone on to like earn more work-wise in my career, and I've received that in terms of my salary. But then I've also gone on to add additional streams of income by just uploading videos on YouTube, and that's brought in an extra stream of income, saving more money. And that's the acting and doing bit of it, to be able to buy a house. And yes, some of you might say, well, a house, you've just bought something, but my house or property appreciates in value. So every year my house is going up in value, so it's worth more than I paid for it. So when I then go on to sell it, I've made money. So that is passive income. So that is me just sitting here and money coming in. And I've used the law of attraction to grow my YouTube channel. I've used the law of attraction to buy my dream house, and there's actually a video coming on that later. But through using the law of attraction in other avenues of my life, I have indirectly attracted more money into my life. So that is how things have worked out for me, and they only seem to be getting better. I'd say if this was of interest to you and you want to find out more, read The Secret and read The Power, but both books are by Rhonda Byrne. Those books have totally changed the game for me. The Secret was the first book I read which introduced me to the law of attraction, so I would definitely recommend that. Comment down below if you've got any questions, give the video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, and I hope you did, and subscribe for more content from me. I upload 3 videos a week now, on a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Sunday, so hopefully you'll come back and there'll be something that you might find interesting. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!